Mm. Okay, so hello. So I'm just making a video to cool down before I make something to eat. Since I'm back from my job, and yesterday the Uber driver reminded me of my geometry honors teacher, who was Muslim, black Muslim girl slash woman, who was really young. She had graduated from Duke University and was teaching students that were not many years younger than her. So I would have been 14 then, and she was in her early 20s. And it was just really, really cool to see a black girl slash woman teaching us geometry. And it was funny because, some of the students were just rude for no reason. It was because they were, you know, young white boys who didn't know how to take a black girl slash woman teaching them. I'm 100% certain that's what it was. And their ideas of what math intellect was supposed to look like. But the unironic thing is that um, the Uber driver I met yesterday was from Mali, and that is, if I recall, like a center in ancient times of universities and mathematics and scientific advancements and things. So actually, the fact that she is a black Muslim, it was kind of a match for math, now that I look at it. So, anyway, as my intellect kind of starts to be rebirthed within a more healed body, um, I just remember the people that were really great people that had a, a real impact on me. Just seeing her was, now that I look at it, it's pretty wonderful. Um, and I have so much I could say. I'm disappointed in something that happened last week. Um, but it's so personal, and I talked to my counselor about a lot of different things. So I was able to share in a space that is just safer than the internet, but also certain things when I start to develop safety inside, I don't actually mind sharing or saying. So I guess there's two things happening that can happen, I guess. But I actually wanted to talk about the things I had tried to make a video about before, but I'm gonna do this now because I also need to get something to eat. Um, I'm not sure if I'm gonna eat zucchini spaghetti or an omelet. And I'm overwhelmed because anyway, let's just stick to the things. So I want to talk about three things on this journey. It's just going to be a lot of random videos, and I don't know what to tell you. you know, if you're here, it's going to be a lot of boring things, and I actually don't expect anything. I just expect to be able to have a platform to start to find a voice. And now I've realized that majoring in language actually, I think that ChatGPT is right in saying that before I even realized it consciously, that my unconscious was starting to do deep work, and language is a very important mechanism to begin to articulate your experience. And even a term like bicultural, that was never used around growing up. It's just a new term that has come into existence that I start to use now that I have an idea that that's actually representative of a girl slash woman like me. What I wanted to talk about today was just some racial things, and I'm on age 12 right now of personal expressive blogging, and I have many, many years to go. Um, but let's go ahead and get started. So, first thing I wanted to talk about was that um, there was a hanging in Marietta, Georgia, and maybe I should do trigger warnings because this stuff is not. It's just you have to be really careful because I think it's okay to say that this is not normal. Prepare yourself to take this in. So it's really messed up, and it's something that I will see, and I'll be in a place that is, above the Mason-Dixon line, so to speak, and or not so to speak, just above the Mason-Dixon line. And so there's just kind of a disconnect. And this was a student at Georgia State University, and I'm still trying to figure out. Still trying to figure out how do you process this? What do you do? Because many, there are several hangings. Okay, so I wanted to say that because it's important to really have a voice for these things. I'm not sure what to do with this information, but I'm saying it until hopefully there's not even hopefully. I'm figuring out what to do with this, and God willing, may you stay safe as well as I stay safe, because um you know, as Black people, we are soft targets in these United States streets. We are soft targets, okay? And if you fall at the intersection of femininity as well, we are very, very soft targets. So, yeah. All right, number 2, I wanted to talk about Jesse Jackson and share a real moment of respect and silence for the legacy that he has left that I still need to learn more about. But I did look on Wikipedia to kind of relearn things that I had known and learn new things. So I knew that he was present when, was it James Earl Ray assassinated, um, Dr. Martin Luther King. He was in the picture. I remember that when I saw the picture again. He also started an organization called Rainbow Push Coalition, and also ran for president in 1984. And also, there is the, um, you know, the unfortunate reality that he had a kid through adultery, um, and yeah, that's that really that really sucks. It's horrible. And also, I think that, you know, it is the reality that this can happen. I think we all know that Dr. King cheated on Coretta Scott King, and I think that um, any Black person present today also still stands on the legacy that they built. And I think something that somebody said in a Medium article was really, really poignant, because he was a Black boy / man too who wrote this. And I like that he said that, you shouldn't excuse wrongdoing. And then also, what happens is that you take what history has and you learn from it, and you have the chance to do better. The generations that benefit from the gains that have been made, you have a chance to do better and learn from the mistakes or errors, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, I really liked that. So that's what I want to say. I want to learn more about Jesse Jackson. I have a book on John Lewis that um, I earned a scholarship in the district that he represented for the Congressional Black Caucus when I was in a senior for college. And, you know, really, people do make things a lot easier for us traversing, you know, our paths in this day and time. And it's important to acknowledge that and acknowledge the 360-degree reality of things, right? All right. So rest in peace to Jesse Jackson. The next thing I want to mention is the BAFTA Awards, and there's a YouTuber I watch that she talks about colorism, and she did a video about Sinners. And I haven't watched this movie yet. I'm just still in flux with so much, so I don't know when I'll have a moment to really just rest. But so I am kind of on the lookout for that when I do watch the movie, since I had something that shared opinions and things. And also with the main issue, I think that all that I can say is that yes, that is very painful. Because what happens is you can't help but to feel humiliated when you're experiencing this and nobody's standing up for you. For me at least. It's humiliating when you're experiencing harm and nobody's standing up for you. And so I just want to say that I think that that is how this system works. If you make gains in it, it desires to self-correct, and so, you know, it might not be able to self-correct at the base level of saying you can't play the game and win an award, because if you do experience a certain amount of notoriety and success and financial success, and you know, people are going to have to recognize you. I mean, it ends up being that, you know, it's not possible to not recognize someone that has a film that has had that level of attention, success. So what happens is that you can get a person on the back end. A person can have Tourette's syndrome, and look, we have to also understand how much medicine is a part of the system when it comes to medical racism, because what are Black people with Tourette's syndrome experiencing relative to a white person with Tourette's syndrome, right? What are the discrepancies in care? And it's all part of the same system that named enslaved people running away. I think it's called drapetomania, as that literally being a mental health issue. So I think it all goes hand in hand, where people weaponize humanity, weaponize medicine. I don't even know what I'm saying, but all I'm saying is that, you know, and if it's just a way to say that you don't really belong here. We will recognize you, but know your place. And I think when you don't edit something, that's exactly what's happening. It is a microaggression. It is a form of aggression. It's a soft aggression, a hard aggression, however you might want to call it. But it's clearly a message that's being sent. And I think it's important to pay attention to the way things make you feel, to be able to start to decipher where that feeling is coming from and what message that you're able to interpret from that. And, you know, that's it. I think that it shows me how I think I'm starting to understand more the importance of having spaces that definitely celebrate like we are able to celebrate ourselves. That's very important. And I know that when I've been in those spaces as a young kid, that has been very, very beneficial to my development. And, you know, yeah, very, very helpful, very, very important. And I think that the way that I've been able to be when I've had a foundation built in a Black space, I'm able to be able to be in other spaces with, yeah, anyway, I don't know what's going on, but that's all I want to say. I want to say those three things, and let me go ahead and make something to eat now, and um yeah, all right. Have a good evening, and may you stay safe. May I stay safe, and look forward to being able to talk to you again. All right. Have a good night. Bye.